Bill, are you ready to start the meeting?
As ready as I can be, I guess. Is it that time?
Yep.
All right. What do we have for a quorum? I see. I'm here. Isabel, I see.
Jennifer, Bill, and Jesse.
So we have a quorum, is what I'm understanding.
Yeah.
We have 5.
Okay. So that's done. Next up would be approval of the minutes of April 22nd and the April 25th.
Yeah, I just have one comment on those to just identify the April 21st as a special meeting to conduct a site review for MDO 1-22. It's just confusing to have all these minutes, but no explanation of what they are.
Okay, so the one from April 21st, that
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
The
That was-
22nd,
That's a public hearing.
right?
okay, those were approved at the
Last
last meeting.
meeting.
Oh, but in these draft minutes for the 25th, oh, am I in the wrong?
Yeah.
But we're approving the minutes. Am I in the
April
April 22nd
22nd.
and April 25th?
Yeah.
And the
Right.
April- As April, just cites April minutes, approval of minutes of April 11th and April 21st. And I just was thinking that would help this indicate that April 21st was a special meeting
Okay,
to conduct a site review.
I can add that. Yeah,
Otherwise, they were beautiful.
thank you.
So do we have to move to accept them again?
No, we're not
No.
accepting those minutes. She's just saying on
The
the
date was
minutes
wrong.
from the 25th.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay.
Specifying the previous minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has everybody read the minutes?
I approve them as written as far as I'm concerned. Now, you can make the motion for as written or with that information that you just shared.
I move we accept the minutes of Friday, April 22nd as written.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? I have a discussion. Am I gonna, since this is Zoom, I'm guessing that I'm gonna have to do a roll call thing?
That's what I did.
Yes.
Okay. No further discussion? By roll call? All those who approve? I guess it's, yeah. Who's approved?
Gil,
Bill
yes.
Shoppy- Bill says yes.
That's a yes.
Isabel, yes.
Jennifer, yes.
Is that everybody? Somebody tell me that's everybody.
Yes.
Everybody,
Okay,
I move to accept the minutes of April 25th as amended.
Second.
any discussion? All in favor? Bill Shoppy says aye.
Jennifer West says aye.
Bill Jackson, I.
Jesse Burns, aye.
Gil Rivera, aye.
Okay. Next up, we move into old business, do we not?
Yeah.
All right. We've got no land use ordinance. We got development review ordinance, Earl McKenzie for Town of Islesboro, application MD 01-22, construct a 54-foot dock, aluminum ramp, and a 16-foot by 30 float. We had something we tabled it for based on the minutes on the last meeting. And that was tabled for, where is it?
Harbor master review and a more detailed plan for the proposed pathway.
Have we gotten that? Have we got something satisfied to that? We got this, I saw we had a Harbor's Master review.
Yes. No hard copy of the path walkway.
I could speak to that. I talked to Dave Dyer, and it's in his purview to approve the bridge or anything, we do in that. So that sketch that I gave before
That was just on,
is,
Yeah, we've never received it.
well, I gave copies to everybody when I did an 8x11 sketch. It was, and I presented it at the meeting.
I seem to recall that.
That was at the meeting, not in the packet for the,
Oh, well, it was available anyway. I made copies. I don't know where they went.
we didn't get
And
one.
that should suffice. I mean, that's really, I don't know what else I really could do. It shows the trail that we would do, and
If we're gonna do it with this plan, we need a hard copy
the
in our
permit,
records.
I didn't bring in my paperwork with me, but
it's okay, or we have to do the findings of fact.
yeah, so there's not much I could do to improve upon that one drawing. I mean, it's a trail.
Just as a point, I remember seeing that. I just don't have it in my possession right now.
I think we saw it at the
At the-
public hearing.
Right, and that's it. We
Yeah,
didn't
well,
have no hard copy
It
at all.
was done to scale.
It was never submitted.
Can we not all agree that we've seen the plan though? We understand.
It
what
wasn't
he's- what he's
submitted.
saying. I mean, he can still get a copy and submit it after the fact. I mean, we've all seen
Correct.
it. We were all
He
sitting
has
there.
time to do that. Yeah,
That'll be fine, I think.
yeah, just have it at the next meeting.
Yeah, no, I can easily do that, sure.
All right. Other than that, I think we're at the point of going through the, where are we with this? Have we settled the major or minor already? I cannot remember.
No, we haven't.
Okay. Then I move that this qualifies as minor development.
Second,
All in favor, or no, excuse me, discussion? No discussion being heard. All in favor, Bill Shoppy says aye.
Rick West says aye.
Isabel Jackson, I.
Jesse Burns, aye.
Gil Rivera, aye.
All right. Now it's a matter of going through the criteria of approval found in 4519, I believe. Unless somebody has something else that we need to do.
So do we wait to get the plan with the pathway to move?
I think we can include it in, I think it can be included in this as, in this next section we're doing here.
And move that it's complete then.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, I don't think we have to have that in hand for this particular part of the thing. 45-19. Everybody has that in front of them. Okay. Evelyn, You need to go back in the house. I'm taking care of some business right here. So go back in the house. Thank you. All right, criteria for standards 45-19. A, will not result in undue water, air pollution. In making this determination, the board shall at least consider the elevation of land, sea level, and relation to floodplains, nature of soil, subsoils, their ability to adequately support waste disposal, the slope of the land, and the effects of effluents. B, has sufficient quantity or quality of water available for reasonably foreseeable needs of the proposed subdivision or development, will not cause an unreasonable burden on existing water supply if one is to be utilized. Whoops, I just went through a whole bunch of them wrong. First A, will not result in undue water, air pollution, make the determination. Okay. How does the board feel on that? Does it?
Yes, we have the Army Corps of Engineers and DEP permit showing that they have certifications from both groups. Erosion was noted at the public hearing regarding at Big Tree Beach.
Right, but that has, I don't think it's, does it say anything about,
The erosion
That-
project,
that's not part of the, on A, that erosion is not part of A right now. It's just whether they're gonna use any water or cause air pollution or water pollution for drinking water and such like that. And
right.
I think this is either non-applicable or meet standards.
Well, I guess I was thinking in terms of water pollution.
Okay, for drinking water or just,
Oh, no, no. That would be more for marine wildlife.
okay. So what is the answer to the question then? Will not result in undue water, air pollution?
I think it's meet standard.
NA,
So,
I think it meets standards as
Alright.
well, and I think the erosion is later.
okay,
yeah.
all right.
So meet standards,
Yes,
okay? And meet standards. Now, not Jennifer, Isabel, you said something about that, we might want to take a poll on these answers.
Well, has everybody gone to one of those training sessions?
I don't think everybody has.
years ago.
It's suggested that each one of these be a motion.
Well, we could just quickly do it.
Yeah,
I think we can go through most of
Yeah,
them pretty
yeah.
quickly, and then we're.
make a motion at the end for all of them.
Well, I think some of
I'm
them
a-
maybe.
Some of them might be differing in opinion. I
Right.
think.
All right, well, on this one anyways, are we in agreement that it's, meet standards? Bill Shoppy said yes.
So a motion that,
Are we making a motion or are we just saying whether we approve or disapprove of the answer?
Or what are we doing, Bill?
You're the boss.
Yeah.
Let's do the motion, it's just easier.
Okay, I motion that the answer of meet standards is acceptable.
Second,
All in favor, excuse me, discussion? All in favor? Bill Shoppy says aye.
Beth West says aye.
Bill Jackson,
Jesse Burns, aye.
Gil Rivera, aye.
All right, B, has sufficient quantity of water available for reasonably foreseeable needs of the proposed subdivision or development.
Make a motion that it's not applicable.
Make a
Second,
motion.
did, second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? Bill Shoppy says aye.
Beth West says aye.
Isabel Jackson,
Jesse Burns, aye.
Joe Rivera, aye.
Okay, just a point of interest, just because one person says aye doesn't mean everybody has to follow suit either, right? You'll vote your conscience.
Don't worry.
All right. C, will not cause an unreasonable burden on the existing water supply if one is utilized.
I move that C is not applicable.
Second,
Seconded. Let's see, discussion. No discussion being heard. All in favor. Bill Shoppy says aye.
Jennifer West says aye.
Isabel Jackson,
Jesse Burns, aye.
Joe Rivera, aye.
Right. D, will not cause unreasonable soil erosion or reduction in the capacity of the land to hold water so that dangerous or unhealthy conditions may result.
So this is where it's supposed to be.
Yes.
All right. We know that a pathway, whether is permanently installed or just in a matter of using it to get to the dock is gonna happen. People are gonna walk if it goes in. So unreasonable soil erosion. This could be a condition that gets put forth that some sort of erosion control be in place, be it silt fence or some kind of ground cover to help out with erosion control, such as bark mulch or what have you, to keep the people from creating this path that's going to cause erosion. That was my discussion on the matter. Does anybody else have any other ideas on the matter?
They're gonna put a bridge over that little gully or whatever right there. It's gonna need more than silk screen that you said or anything else. I would
What's it
think-
going to need?
I personally think it's gonna need some kind of rock or something, because all you have there is dirt and the water's gonna keep eroding that.
From where that culvert is?
Yes,
Could I speak to it?
it's up to the boss, not me.
I think you can go ahead and speak to it.
I've gone down there, with this extreme weather we've had. And the flow that comes through there, I'm very familiar with because it comes through the land that I take care of on the other side. It's fairly minimal and it's down, the bridge would be way above it. And the bridge would be sitting on pads on dry soil above it where there's no contact with any of the moisture in that culvert at all. Actually, it wouldn't even be related to it. So I don't, I've been involved in the construction of this kind of stuff many times in my life, in many places. And, when you span something of this sort and you have good pads set in, it's just, I see no real issue there personally, but
didn't you say that you had a plan to plant some other plants like along where it's starting to go away?
yeah,
remember the name of it.
yeah, we have to find out in the long term. I'd like
Yeah.
to do some, we planted at the ferry when we did all the work down there on the west side. Working with the state, we use Rose Pagosa, but since then they've changed the standards, so now they consider that an invasive species, so we have to use something different. But
dig some up at the ferry.
yeah. But we need to clean, right now, the whole place literally is a mess down there.
But throughout the entire project, if there's something that needs to be addressed, you are planning on looking at it and then addressing it
Yeah, I
accordingly.
mean, I just want to see it nice down there and continue to improve it. So,
Thank you.
Well,
As far as the installation of the pier goes, I don't think there's going to be any kind of disruption as far as the shoreline goes, because it's all on ledge and rock and going to be done from the water, from what I understand.
that'll be done from the barge.
It'll be done, say again?
That will all be done barge by
Barge.
crane.
Right. All the installation stuff will be done from the water, not from the land.
I've also been in construction and I retired from that for 30 years.
Sure.
So pads on top of that dirt, if you get erosion, it's gonna take those pads away before it'll take anything else.
I
I mean,
don't, I don't know.
how heavy a pad are you gonna put down there?
Well, what I'm talking about is massive, either
Maybe it would be nice to see plans. That would be great. So maybe just leave it at that, because I can't imagine the
Yeah,
pad
okay.
myself.
I mean, I've got stuff I can take you. I built 30 years ago on this island. It's still sitting there. I built 32 docks. with
Yeah, but it's
access
not in
around
the
this
same spot
island.
we're talking about. It's in different
Okay.
spots.
But
All right.
when
Every
you
place
set-
is
when you-
different.
When you set in things into dry ground with light loading, we're not talking a vehicle bridge here. And you level it, set it in, and you pin it down. It's not going anywhere. I'm sorry.
Show us a picture and then we'll look at it.
Wait a minute, now what kind of a condition can we get for this picture? We already asked for the walkway plans, ideas and such like that. It says will not cause unreasonable soil erosion. The application, the installation isn't gonna cause any, however, the use thereof is gonna cause something. Because people are gonna walk there. How can we protect it? That's the kind of condition that we need, is how can we protect it when people start walking on it to get to it? If it goes in, and that's what I'm saying, if it gets passed, how do we protect the soil from eroding? We get a plan for that, whether it's silt fence, whether it's rock base, whether it's wood chip base, whatever it is.
Well, I think wood chip would float away, rock would be your best bet. And personally, I think he should leave this on phase 2, put a little walkway from the road right down to the dock right there, just like they do on ITT. They make steps and then you can walk right down instead of doing that path.
Okay,
And that way you're covered.
okay.
So we talked about the safety concern for having people stop at the road right there and walk down.
No, it's like we're trying to do is change the speed limit and they park in the other parking lot and they walk over there. They've been doing for years.
My concern, Gil, is that right there, that's right near that little hill. And I mean, this pathway we're talking about, going on about, is no different than people walk. They've been going down Big Tree for years, walking down the side for years. And it's still sitting there. I mean, there comes a point where we're getting a little unrealistic here, I think. I mean, I think we could put your suggestion, putting rock on there is fine. I could say if there's anywhere where you have a side slope, to put a piece of PT in the ground or something and peg it. And so it's level like the state parks do.
I agree.
In the state parks, you go to Acadia, trails all over the place under, they'll put little, they might put a 4x4 PT somewhere if there's a little bit of a slope, and they'll just rake it level, maybe with, they tend to use a lot of wood chips and so on in those areas. You could put some pea stone or crushed stone, but I think that a lot of it will be common sense to see what's needed.
Well, common
It's
sense,
a
I think
very
is
short,
rock
it's a
is
very
better.
short season where you're gonna have, you're not having hundreds and hundreds of people
Well,
every day walking
and
over it.
actually, the bridge though, and concern he has is the water flowing through it. So I
Water is
haven't
way
looked at.
down under that bridge. It's
Well,
not
yeah,
hitting it.
but we're now getting more and more rain. And I'm not quite sure the source of that water. It's from a gully across the
There's a
street.
gully
or is
from
it-
Brigham's comes down through.
Yeah, so
and
the issue is that we
And then
have to
culvert.
anticipate that over time, we're gonna have more. And it just additional information would be helpful.
Well, I think we have to react to that like we do on our roads. I mean, you can't anticipate everything. You do the best you can and you maintain things.
Okay. Would it be acceptable to have a condition here on D stating that along with the plan that of the proposed pathway, it includes the method and use of erosion barrier in those areas necessary?
I think that'd be fine.
Yeah, I mean, we have to control erosion, obviously. and I'm-
No-
and I'm
no doubt.
all for, You know,
Well, you know that road across from Seth Wilbur's, you go down that road. Years ago, they fixed that road, they put all that rock there.
oh, Billy Short Lane?
Yeah. You remember that spot?
I think
That's
so.
perfect. That's what you really need.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I think, yeah, we can put rock or anything there. I mean, I'm not opposed to it.
Hey, Bill, was that your motion?
No, I was just laying that out there as a possible motion. And it sounds like it is, so I will make it a motion. I might motion that, that the answer to the question D on the 4519 is that on the condition that we get the proposed pathway drawn out and any possible use of erosion control material in places where it's needed.
Second.
Any further discussion on the matter?
Yeah, I don't see why you can't really just put, because he wants this dock in a hurry. So I don't see why for now, he can't just put steps, like I said, from the street right there down to the dock. And he could put this other part in phase 2 and get
Right,
his dock in.
Gil, I don't think there's a reason why he can't do that. And if he wants to include that in his drawings that he's gonna propose, that he's gonna be giving us, then you know, that's okay, right? If he puts it in there, if he's gonna do that.
Well, I'm just saying, he wants to get that dock in before June. I mean, that would be a simple way. And then he could just go to Dave and get another permit for the walkway.
Now, I'm not opposed to that. As long as
Yeah, I mean, that would be
do it.
perfect if you ask
I
me.
think that falls inside my motion.
Okay.
Good job.
So it's motion's been made and seconded. Any more discussion? All right, all in favor? Bill Shoppy says aye.
Jesse Burns, aye.
Isabel Jackson, I.
Jennifer West, nay.
Your Rivera, nay.
Right? So what do we have?
3-2.
3-2.
Okay, so there we go. E, will not cause unreasonable public or private road congestion or unsafe conditions with respect to the public, private roads existing or proposed, including parking lot at Grindle Point. Why that includes Grindle Point parking, I don't know. But E does raise a flag for me, as I'm sure it does for others. I see, and I've said it in the past, we're trading one problem for another problem. One potential hazard for another potential hazard. Will not cause unreasonable public or private road congestion or unsafe conditions with respect to the use of public roads or private roads. My thoughts on this is currently the people are getting dropped off in the parking lots, either across the street from Mosley's Dock or adjacent to Mosley's Dock, and they're walking through that parking lot or across the street to the other parking lot to go to Mosley's Dock. Should this go in, they're still going to be parking there and walking the distance on the road from that parking lot down to where they can access the proposed float or proposed dock. I see a huge problem there with public roads and safety on drivers and safety on the people that are walking. How can we address this?
Wouldn't that be up to the selectmen?
I think it would.
Well, I
Is there-
have noticed additional evidence that maybe we should discuss that we received from the public hearing regarding the community's comments on their concerns. Some of them were regarding the swimmers and boats encounters, as the applicant mentioned, being the main reason for this proposed pier. Also, the Safe Roads Committee report did a preliminary assessment of traffic speeds in that area. And they documented a range of 38 to 50 miles an hour within that zone. So there is a definite concern, and we received a number of letters.
38 to 50?
Yeah, 50. And that a number of individuals, Babe Hatch commented on his concerns about that as he drives large trucks through the area. Other individuals reported that they just felt it was not safe in that area. And generally, there was just concerns that the traffic drives through too fast in that area. Also, additional safety concerns were raised at the hearing regarding water depth at the proposed pier being unsafe for diving.
Is that covered on E?
Yes, still on E. And the town has not addressed the following issues at the public hearing and previous planning board meetings, including access to the pier by the pedestrians from north and south, or they stated will remain the same walking along the side of the main road. The current speed limit through, just noted that the current speed limit people noted is 35 miles an hour. And it's unclear based on what we've heard so far. The only comment we got from the committee associated with this project was the Harbor Committee as to who's actually responsible in terms of oversight for the Mosley Dock, the proposed new pier, and Big Tree Beach. And so we never heard anything. Well, Recreation Director Melissa Jagger did give us some information, her input, but we haven't really seen any formal support for the pier. And it would help if we did obtain some support, additional support, other than just comments about the obvious problems at Mosley Dock for the swimmers. And that's why I've listed as findings of fact is based on that information we received at the public hearing and before the planning board, that we need to be provided plans for pedestrian access to the new pier from the north and south, which should include warnings to vehicles of pedestrians. A copy of the information gathered by the Humane Engineering Capstone Project should be provided to the planning board. We understand they have done a study of that area and may give us some good input on whether or not a parking area is appropriate, where the path should be located, and possible erosion control along the beach can be planned. And actions should be taken to warn of shallow water off the recreation pier for diving. Actions to ensure avoidance of swimmer and boat interactions off the pier, and actions to be taken for traffic calming identified by the Harbor Committee, which include lower speed limit to 25 miles per hour, move the reduction in speed limit to 300 feet north of the present location. In addition, plans for the installation of warning signs to slow traffic, establishment of a crosswalk with flashing signs between parking lot and Mosley Dock, and the town should identify who will provide oversight of the usage of the dock, the pier, and Big Tree Beach. And those are potential findings of fact on this project for that item.
Okay. I understand some of this that you read off, and I'm reading it with you. Has some safety issues on it, but the question E is will not cause unreasonable public or private road congestion or unsafe conditions with respect to use of the public or private roads. There's nothing on E talking about water depth or for diving or anything like that.
That's a good point, Bill.
What?
Unfortunately, the findings of fact do not provide anything regarding safety in terms of recreation. It doesn't go into any detail to help. Recreation activities are also under development review, the development review ordinance.
Can I speak to this?
Well,
You can try, we're gonna try to get through this one, so. Go ahead.
A lot of questions raised. One, who has authority at Seal Harbor and the main floats, the harbor masters? Have authority about what happens there. That's under our purview. That's a person brought up about the depth of water. I grew up in Maine. I swam all over ponds. I swam all over the place. We're getting to a point that we're not the city of Portland looking to put in a huge recreational thing. The docks that exist now where kids swim at low tide is less than 9 feet of water.
Those are private docks.
Well, no, that's the town dock.
Okay.
And this dock, when it's low tide, will be 3 feet.
No,
No.
you're wrong. It's on the outside of it, it's more like, depending on the tide, anywhere from 6 probably to 8.
Yeah,
And
but
I'm
at the
not-
meeting, you said 5. And
So-
at
Then where did
the
you get
harbor,
3?
the harbor committee president told me it was 3 feet.
Well, I'm hearing nothing but people wanting to stop this project, and I'll be honest, I'm exasperated. I put a lot of time and energy into this for a safety thing before someone gets hurt. And it seems like a lot of people have a lot of reasons why you shouldn't do this. And it's always the negative voices that speak loudest. But maybe it's not going to happen, maybe it can't happen. But it's very frustrating because at some point, someone is going to seriously be hurt because the decision can't be made on this.
So if you could tell everybody from the dock now not to swim there, and they walk in threes down that road to that thing, nobody's gonna get hurt.
People have been swimming on that beach.
I didn't
for
talk
50
about
years, and I
swimming,
know
I'm
it.
talking about walking down the road,
We walk all the time, and we bicycle all the time.
okay?
Okay, let's bang a gavel and get this thing under control.
Pearl,
Yeah,
I'm just thinking where the applicant is the town, it would be in the town's interest to put up a sign saying no diving at low water, just for liability issues.
sure. We have one at
That's-
the present one.
That's all we're saying.
Yeah, that's
I don't-
that's fine.
I'm very, very unclear about why we're talking about this under E of the finding spec.
Right,
Which all it states is will not cause unreasonable public or private road congestion or unsafe conditions with respect to use of the public or private roads existing or proposed, including parking at Griddle Point. 0 of that has to do with lights, with if they're walking in threes from the dock, if they're walking,
I did,
It's a public road though.
it
I
is a
understand
So
that,
you
but we're
said
talking
that
about a
yourself.
dock installation.
Yeah, but we have people using the dock unless it's just a
Well, I
piece of
understand that.
art.
But we've already talked about the pathway for people to use it, which he's going to submit.
Well,
So why are we still harping on that when
I
he's already
understand.
agreed
Well,
to
we-
submit that?
The only discussion we've had was a sketch showing the path was from Big Tree Beach's turnout. We
Okay,
don't know, the object of this whole thing is to get people from Mosley Dock. So,
from the parking lot.
Right, in a safe manner.
yeah. So that is a big issue. And the fact that people will be dropping children off, it's already been documented that the speed is too fast.
which we have nothing to do with speed limits. Correct,
But the town, the applicant
Correct.
does.
Correct.
The
Okay.
applicant does.
but for what we're presently doing,
No,
we can't do anything with the speed limit, correct?
the road commissioner will do that.
I understand that,
Yeah,
but we don't.
No, but
We-
we can make it a
Yeah.
condition.
Okay, which I thought we'd already
No,
Not on
like
E.
talked about that.
no.
So
This is all just information that need to confirm that the town is taking action on addressing the issues surrounding safe passage within the area of Mosley Dock, the new pier, and Big Tree Beach, because this is all going to result in more activity at that new pier, which is relying currently on access along the road. And the road speed is too high. We need to request that the town provide us with plans for how they're going to address it.
Can I speak to this?
Mhm.
Bill?
is
Sorry.
it Janet?
Yes, Janet.
Yeah,
Yeah, Shannon, I'm sorry. You all have asked us about lowering the speed there, and we have to wait for the DOT to come out, and I've told you this, and I've told, well, I don't know, I've told several people, but as soon as they come out, they will look at that, they will talk about crosswalks, which again, there has to be safe landing on both sides of the roadway, so it's really hard to do that at the southern parking lot, because you have driveways coming out of both parking lots, so it's hard to find a spot between there and then the spot where people park. But it's not a bad idea to have that little walkway. Kids are probably gonna do that anyway, scoot down over that hill. It's kind of steep.
Mhm.
But they're probably going to do that, but, so I mean, that is something, I can't give you a plan of what's gonna happen, because I haven't been out here, so. It could just be contingent upon receiving that, and if we
Exactly, that's
don't-
what we need, yep, we just need to know the town is working on it. and
well,
what
I
they're
will put that
planning
in
on.
writing,
Yeah,
and say, as
yeah.
soon as it happens,
That would
I
be
mean, I'm
great.
sure someone's gonna be up there with, I know Dave Petzel, the Safe Roads Committee has.
What, could that be part of phase 2?
No.
Well, it has to be under this application.
it might be part of phase 2, but it also has to be a condition on this E of, we have to propose some sort of a condition, because left as it is, I see a huge potential for danger, not just, as, not just for swimmers at Mosley's, but for anybody walking down the road to where this proposed dock is going. They're gonna walk down the road. I don't have a crystal ball to say that they're all gonna walk down the road and just come straight in, but people take the easiest path to get to where they're going. That's gonna be the easiest path. So if we can get through E with a condition of some sort or conditions of some sort, I'm open for that.
Can I make a motion?
Who asked the question?
Isabel,
Oh, yeah, then you're on the board. You can make a motion.
I move that the conditions for finding of fact number E be plans for pedestrian access to the new pier from the north and south. We'd like to see a copy of the information gathered by the UMaine Engineering Capstone Project. Actions for traffic calming, which is the speed limit. And plans for possible installation of warning lights to slow traffic.
Or signs of some sort, correct?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt your proposal.
I believe I'm done.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second. Or did somebody else second?
You-
Do we need any further discussion?
Yes, I'm just, a question for clarity. Are you saying that they have to have the signs or whatever in place before they go ahead, or are we still okay with what the town is providing? When they've already contacted DOT, now we're waiting for them to get back with us.
This may be a condition of approval in the future, so we need to have it in the findings of fact.
Because I don't work for DOT, but say they don't get it next year, does that mean that this goes away till next year because of that condition?
It depends on our vote for approval.
It's, I think that when, whatever the town comes up with is what their plan is. If that satisfies the board, then the board is satisfied. If it doesn't satisfy the board, then the board's not satisfied.
So can I ask Janet a question?
Absolutely, we're still in discussion.
So you have to wait for the DOT to move a sign?
Yeah. Or especially lower a limit. I just can't lower limits.
Yeah.
It's not, it wouldn't be valid. I mean, if someone got,
So,
there was an accident, you know, there'd be,
so in order to add a sign, you'd have to wait too?
to add what kind of sign?
Like reduce speed or that?
You know, and I can.
I mean, I see one there already, but
Yeah, right, there
I'm
is.
just,
one
it's
there.
just a question
Yeah.
of,
No, and I don't have a problem with moving that sign up to the top of the hill by Cisco's driveway, you know.
yeah.
But I mean, you've got to get buy-in from the truckers too. I mean, I understand Babe thinks this is not safe. Well, I mean, truckers have to slow down too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody.
it would need to be enforced.
That's it. And I don't have Fred up there 24 hours a day sitting.
Oh.
I might have a spare police car I'll leave up there.
You
And
do.
that little dummy, the traffic,
Can you deputize anyone?
you.
All right.
All right, we're getting a little out of hand.
Well, the Safe Roads report did show that that flashing sign did have an effect to reduce.
Is that a state road?
No, it's a town
It's a
road.
town road,
But the sign.
but they are required to follow DOT.
Because we receive money from
regulations.
them every year.
Okay. Again, it goes back, the motion's been made, we've been discussing it, and I don't think anything has changed since about the motion. Do we still have any further discussion? Am I seeing it wrong?
No, so we'll basically reduce the findings of fact to those 4 conditions.
Yeah,
I guess that's
that's
what
my
it is.
motion.
Yeah. All right, reduce it to those 4. Or whatever she said.
Yeah, well, back.
Plans for pedestrian access, plans from the Harbor Committee, from the Capstone engineers, traffic calming, and possible installation of signs.
I mean, I'd say the crosswalk with Janet.
Yeah, that, you know, and I don't know.
I
know Dave has talked with the Bicycle Coalition. That may not be the same idea as DOT, what they.
you know, just
But if there could
anything that the town can possibly do, because it's, and I'm sure you know, it's an existing problem.
Yep, I mean, I've grown up here, and kids, do walk up the road, they do, you know, so. But whether they're gonna walk further up there, you know, or just get dropped off. and-
Janet, I think it's like the signs we have at the transfer station about dumpster diving and such. It's to cover the
Yeah, I think
towns.
Yeah, we can put up, you know, as many signs as you want.
I understand, and whether people obey them or not, it's another story,
But at least they're there.
Yeah.
but at
No,
least they're there.
I get that, but.
You know,
I mean,
you know that one sign that was put up last year in different spots,
Yeah.
the
Oh, the
show the
trailer.
speed limit?
I mean,
Remember,
that trailer with the
Yeah.
flashing.
you gotta get one that works better than that, because half the time it didn't work.
Oh, it was actually on a quiet mode or something, so it's not flashing, but
Yeah,
it's
sometimes it
recording.
didn't.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
But
No,
it
but
still was getting you, going through.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
You were on the 50, yeah,
You were-
yeah, you were the 50.
But yeah, those are about $5,000. We got that free. The state,
Man. Cool.
so-
Folks.
Fred says you will have plenty of enforcement.
Hello,
Oh,
Yep.
I can't raise my hand, so, I just saw something come up from Maggie Wilcox about a speed bumps possibility, but what I was gonna ask is down in Dark Harbor, we've got a sign down there that says high population or high, something to that effect. Is that something that can be put in without the DOT's permission?
Yes,
Children crossing,
Well, that would be.
Is that the
DOT.
sign or what about speed bumps right there?
The truckers.
Yeah.
don't
Then you're
like
gonna
the
get
way
the
they're-
truckers all in an uproar.
Yeah, the
Speed
way
bumps,
they
maybe
hit
not,
them
right?
yeah.
I'm just,
down in Dark
I know.
Harbor.
Asking a
has
question.
Something to do
Yeah,
with them.
yeah, they're good, I think, like in Dark Harbor, because it's a lower level and they're coming in, but up there where there's hills and.
Yeah, where you're going 50.
You don't want to hit a speed bump at 35 miles an hour.
What about those like big white arrows or something just painted all across the road?
Who's speaking?
Dylan
Dylan.
Curran commenting. Anyway, it's just a thought, headed north, just before you get to Mosley's. You know, big lines on the road painted across might act as a calming or just like an awareness. It's not a crosswalk, but it gets everyone's attention.
like a reminder, hey.
Yeah.
Something's about to happen, because it's kind of a blind spot there and people are in the road.
That may be something that can be done without DOT. I don't know the answer to that question. Do these possible solutions help with our condition and you know, maybe opening up a way of or ideas of what could be put in there? To meet our-
Suggestion has been people, there's been solar powered flashing amber light that each.
Right, yeah, that would be nice.
Those are very effective.
Yeah. But also those little round goodies that you run over would be better for
It's not
everybody
Florida.
except, well, but those would be nicer for truckers, cars and everybody. Cause I don't think you'd get the
They'd
truckers
have to be
upset.
removed.
It wouldn't-
They'd have to be removed, or the snowplow.
Bouncing.
Reflectors, you mean?
No, the round little like small oval donuts that are glued to the road.
The
They'd
reminder.
have to be removed, or the snowplows would remove them.
They could be removed.
They'd be replaced every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right, those are good.
So have we got enough information to go ahead with our proposal? And I think was it seconded? I don't even know if it was seconded. I think it was because we're in
That
discussion.
was Jennifer did.
Yeah.
Has that given enough information or ideas for possible solutions?
Mhm. Yep.
Okay. Any further discussion? All right. As I recall it, I'm going to say all in favor, say aye. And Bill Shoppy says aye.
Jennifer West says aye.
Jesse Burns, nay.
Gil Rivera, aye.
Okay. F, will provide for adequate solid and sewage waste disposal.
I move that this is not applicable.
I'll second it. Any discussion?
I think that is short-sighted. As we know, it's a sanitary issue that people do need to go to the bathroom. Men have it easier, but women don't. And having a pier, well, we know where they'll go in the water, or if they're coming from.
Who's in the swimming pool?
There's a
The only
bathroom.
other one is up, I don't know, where is it, at the far end of that lower parking lot?
Yeah,
And
there's
been
bathrooms there.
two. There's been two there, but this year, if this happened, we were gonna
We're
just
gonna move
put
it
one
down.
there
And
and
one
one up
down there.
there.
Yeah,
We don't need
that would be the solution. I think you just have to identify that there is a issue, that
Right.
there is a sewage waste disposal.
I can understand that as a condition that there be a porta potty placed in the general area.
Yeah. Now, the Harbor Committee did suggest an ADA compliant portable restroom. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's.
Well,
even
that was
appropriate.
Melissa Jagger, thinking it's a larger size for people, not for necessarily ADA people coming in, but
But
for
for
people going in to
changing.
use it as a changing room.
Yeah, yeah.
And we do have something planned from David Pike, so
Oh, good.
again, if this
Okay.
happens.
So we can leave it at this, so.
Yeah.
So
I've already taken care of it, so.
question for the recorder. Was there a motion made and seconded?
Motion was made that, what was the motion, Jesse, that you made?
I'm trying to remember now.
That it was
Non,
non-applicable.
yeah, NA,
Was it seconded?
Yes.
you,
And we got into discussion, correct?
Yeah.
Motion's been made, motion's been seconded. We've had a discussion. Now
You wanna
we can
change-
vote on that, or maybe we can amend the motion. What is the situation there?
I move to amend the motion to meet standard.
With conditions or,
I don't personally have them on mine because there's already bathrooms down there. And they've already said that they're moving one.
yeah,
So
Oh,
it-
okay.
in my opinion, it meets conditions or it meets standards.
now second,
okay, any further discussion? None being heard, we'll call for a vote. Bill Shoppy, aye.
Jennifer West, I.
Isabel Jackson, I.
Jesse Burns, aye.
Joe Rivera, aye.
G will not recause. Did I get everybody? Did I cut somebody off?
Oh,
Okay, G will not cause an unreasonable burden on the town's ability to dispose of solid waste sewage if municipal services are to be utilized.
So
I
the,
don't believe. Say that
obviously,
again.
they're already using a porta potty on. And so the existing pump out service would be available already to provide for the new location.
Yeah.
And it just has to be located where David can pump it, you know,
Right.
like the one at the lower parking lot, he can drive up to it. And that's
Yeah.
what he said there, and he would talk with whenever, if it was being installed, make sure it's a certain distance.
Right.
I'll make a motion that G for meet standard.
second,
Any discussion? No discussion being heard. We'll call for a vote. Bill Shoppy says aye. Excuse me, all in favor? Aye. Bill Shoppy says aye.
Jennifer West says aye.
Isabel Jackson, I.
Jesse Burns, aye.
Joe Rivera, aye.
Is that everybody?
Yep,
Continuing on to H, will not have an undue adverse effect on scenic or natural beauty of the area, aesthetics, historic sites, rare or irreplaceable natural areas, or any public rights for physical and or visual access to the shoreline.
This is where the community members have raised concern of the potential impact on Big Tree Beach if parking is expanded at the site.
I think that would be when they come for a permit on parking.
that would be phase two.
Right,
If they decide to expand parking.
Right.
They-
does this particular application of a dock, float and ramp have an undue adverse effect on the scenic or natural beauty of the area, aesthetics, historic sites, rare or irreplaceable natural areas, or any public rights for physical or visual access to the shoreline? I've noted that the swim dock is at the far corner of the swim area. It's not in the middle of the beach. There's already docks in the area and moorings and such. I don't see this one causing an undue adverse effect, but that's my opinion.
I move that, H meets standards.
Second,
Any discussion? Maybe I should have saved my comment for discussion. No discussion being heard. Call for a vote of, if you approve, say aye. Bill Shoppy says aye.
Jennifer West says aye.
Isabel Jackson, I.
Jesse Burns, aye.
Gil Rivera, aye.
Okay. I is in conformance with this chapter applicable local ordinances, state and federal laws, regulations, town's comprehensive plan, development plan, and master land use plan, if any. Anything from anybody? A motion?
I'll make a motion that it meets standard.
Second.
Any discussion? No discussion being heard. All in favor, say aye. Bill Shoppy says aye.
Jesse Burns, aye.
Isabel Jackson, I.
Jennifer West, a reluctant aye.
Gil Rivera, aye.
All right. J. Will not create an adverse fiscal impact upon the municipality's ability to provide or improve necessary public facilities and services, including transportation and parking.
I'll make a motion that seeing that this is the town, they know if it's gonna affect their own ability to provide services. I move that it meets standard.
Well, all right.
Debatable.
Well,
the
we can do a second. I'll second it and then we can go into discussion. So I second it. Now discussion.
What did you have concerns about, Joe?
No, I didn't have any. I'm just saying. I think it's a fine.
I mean, we know things are gonna have to happen. There's maintenance that's gonna have to happen. Just in taking the dock out, putting the dock in, the float, even if it's just taking the float and putting it on the, taking the ramp and putting it on the float. There's money involved in all this. Obviously, the town is, I heard from Gabe that there was a $10,000 something. Is Gabe in the room?
No,
That's being asked for, I believe, this
Oh,
fiscal
for the
year.
current budget. Oh, I just, FY23 budget is $10,000.
Okay. And that's not official yet. That's not been voted on yet.
in the works.
Correct.
It's in the works. And granted, a lot of this stuff was volunteer and donations and so forth, and it hasn't cost the town anything as far as that goes. So,
Did they approve 30,000?
Well, yeah, last year, it did cost the town. The engineering, the ramp, the float repair, one of the families donated that big float that was repaired. So that was utilized for those purposes, and most of the money has been raised through donation, the bulk of it. And in the scheme of things, the maintenance of the dock, it's a pretty small little thing. There's a scheme of things for what we pay for our harbor facilities and so on. This is pretty tiny compared to the whole big picture. But
I'll make a motion that J meets standard.
Second.
well, I thought let's see, was it already made and we were discussing it?
No, was it? My mistake, that was a while ago. All right.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. And Bill Shoppy says a reluctant aye, following Jennifer's.
Reluctant, aye.
Jennifer West says aye.
Isabel Jackson, I.
Jesse Burns, aye.
Gil Rivera, aye.
All right, K, will not alone or in conjunction with existing activities adversely affect the quality or quantity of groundwater.
NA.
You're making that a motion?
I'll make a motion that K is in A.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Bill Shoppy says aye.
West says aye.
Isabel Jackson, I.
Jesse Burns, aye.
Joe Rivera, aye.
All right, L, will not unreasonably interfere with access to direct sunlight for solar energy.
I move that L is not applicable.
Second,
Any
Aye.
discussion? All in favor, say aye. Bill Shoppy says aye.
Jennifer West says aye.
Isabel Jackson, I.
Jesse Burns, aye.
Joe Rivera, aye.
M, will not adversely affect the quality of body of water or unreasonably affect the shoreline of that body of water whenever situated in whole or in part within 250 feet of any pond, lake, stream, or tidal waters. Do we understand the criteria?
I make a motion that M meets standard.
I'll second. Any discussion?
So, this was covered by the porta potty thing, right?
Yeah, this was an error to keep that stuff in there.
Yeah, and then, we've already talked about the erosion
Yeah,
control and stuff
okay.
like that.
All right.
Yeah. So meets.
We're still
standard.
discussing?
We're
We're
done.
done.
Yeah.
We're
meets
done.
standard.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Bill Shoppy says aye.
Jennifer West says aye.
Aye.
Jesse Burns, aye.
Joe Rivera, aye.
Okay, moving on to 45-20 flood hazard areas. All principal structures within the subdivision or development located within the designated flood hazard areas as shown on Federal Emergency Management Agency maps. I should have just said FEMA or flood hazard boundary maps on file for public inspection at the town office shall be constructed in accordance with provisions of Chapter 70 floodplain management.
I'll make a motion that it's not applicable.
Second.
Any discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye. Bill Shoppy says aye.
Jennifer West says aye.
Jackson, I.
Jesse Burns, aye.
Joe Rivera, aye.
Right, 45-21, financial or technical capacity. The applicant shall have adequate financial and technical capacity to meet these stated standards. B, developer shall, upon request of the board, submit detailed financial statements that demonstrate adequate financial capacity to complete the project under provisions and standards of this chapter. Are we going to require the town to give us some kind of a statement?
No.
I wouldn't think that's really,
No.
I
Neither.
move that these,
A and B.
meet standard.
the A and B or just.
Are not applicable. Are
The whole
there
question.
standards?
That would be A and B.
A and B.
Yeah, I guess maybe you're right, meet standards. Yeah, for A and B.
For a second.
Second,
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Bill Shoppy says aye. What?
Aye.
Jennifer West says aye.
Jesse Burns, aye.
Joe Rivera, aye.
Okay, I caught something that cut out on me, but it was all voting, correct?
Yes.
All right. Uh, Now, I would like to table application MD 01-22 for finalization of the findings of fact.
Second.
Any discussion? No
Is
discussion.
this where, we
Hello,
discuss-
I'm listening.
Oh, is this where we discuss conditions or? No, or,
Well, what kind of conditions would you like to discuss? We've talked
they go
about.
right into the permit, yeah, they just go right into the permit when we type it up. The permit will list the the
The conditions?
conditions. Yeah, yeah. But maybe we wait until we approve the permit after we get the findings of fact. Oh, I don't remember the sequence. Isabel just disappeared for a minute, so maybe she will remember. I guess, yes, according to this list, we approve the application with conditions if deemed necessary. So I guess we wait on the conditions until
I'm not
approving the application.
There she is.
Oh, did you wait for me?
So
Yeah.
Sorry.
can we approve this tonight,
We're going
or do we
to,
have to wait for the,
Findings of
correct.
for the findings of fact to get typed up?
Correct.
And then we can,
yeah,
and then we can move on?
yeah.
Okay.
So, and we do the conditions at that time? Or do we do them now?
Are you making more additional conditions?
Conditions of approval. Okay, we wait,
I believe.
yeah.
What other conditions would we add?
Well, when we move.
Yeah.
We will, after this, move to approve or approve with conditions.
Right.
Option.
Okay.
So right now,
Yeah.
we're tabling just for the finalization of finding of facts.
Yeah.
And, the drawing of the path,
That's included in the finding of facts conditions, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
There's you approve findings of fact and approve application with conditions. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm listening.
Because I thought we
Did
approved,
we make a motion that the application's complete?
Not tonight.
Yeah,
No.
it's
We
not,
haven't done.
we're waiting for the plan of the pathway, with the pathway.
Oh, right, right.
So we're doing that, I believe. next.
Unless you want to approve it with the condition that we receive.
Right.
We could do that too.
Yeah, but usually we get the findings of fact and then we approve it.
Actually, we usually approve
do we?
it first,
Before we get the application.
before we.
I think if you check the board, Maggie Wilcox has posted something that might be helpful.
I can't read that.
you approve the findings of fact and then approve the application with conditions.
She's not the planning board member.
Right.
No,
After the application is moved to be complete, we can still ask for any information that we want. Or that we
Yes, that is correct.
want, but that we feel is necessary.
well, can we complete this tonight then?
No,
Contingent on
No.
getting the.
Because this is just getting typed up and then he's adding in,
But we need to
The
make sure we
pathway.
get that too.
It would have to be.
well, with
contingent.
that condition, yeah.
We could.
I mean, I just didn't see another 2 weeks for
I-
when he can just submit it within that same time frame. You know what I mean?
It's either or, I guess.
Is it?
I don't think it makes that much difference, but we can.
Well, as of right now, there's been a motion to table it. And seconded, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
Is that correct?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Okay, we still have to vote on that. I'd like to move it for complete with the conditions.
Well, you
okay, well, let's finish the,
didn't vote on the other motion, did you?
We're in discussion on that motion.
we are in discussion.
I'm lost.
There's been a
We're
motion
motion to table.
to table
Yeah.
it for finalization of the findings of fact.
Right. Which is what we have commonly done.
Has that been seconded?
Yes,
Mhm.
we did vote for it now after discussion.
Yeah. Okay.
Are we done talking about it? Okay, Bill, you vote.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Bill Salty says aye.
Jennifer West says aye.
Isabel Jackson says aye.
Jesse Burns says nay.
Gil Rivera, aye.
Okay. Moving on. New business, land use ordinance, none. Development review ordinance, none. Now we move into amendments to Town of Islesboro Land Use Ordinance, Development Review Ordinance regarding fees.
It's a public hearing.
As a public hearing. So do we have to, does that start
This meeting and start the public hearing, right?
onto that?
Yeah,
Oh, we do?
yeah.
Information, what's he doing? I think you call the public hearing to order. I don't know if you have to adjourn. Do
Thank
you
you.
have to adjourn?
Thanks, Earl.
Thank you, sir.
I guess we would adjourn this one and start.
Oh, is that it?
That's what I
So
said,
you
yeah.
make a
You make a
motion.
motion to enter a public hearing.
Right.
At the time.
Right. You want to do that, Bill, or?
I didn't catch all that, so you go right ahead.
I would move we adjourn the regular meeting.
Well, we still,
No, we got things to go through on that.
Well, we're
then you come-
adjourning the
yeah.
regular planning board meeting and we're starting the
Right.
public
well,
hearing.
we can't adjourn. We still have the whole second
Well, we'll
half of
come
our
back
stuff.
to it.
Right.
Oh,
Then we exit the public hearing and come back into this one.
Yeah,
Technically, that would be a new meeting.
No.
If you adjourn, that's over with.
No,
I
I
guess
saw the selectmen do it. I mean, make a motion to end a public hearing. Go
Well,
to-
but that's different
Oh,
than adjourning.
and so I don't have to make a motion to adjourn.
Oh, I didn't.
We can just
say-
open
no,
up in a
just
public
making a
hearing.
motion to open this public hearing.
Okay, I move that we open public hearing.
Second.
Aye.
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor, say aye. Bill Shoppy says aye.
Jennifer West says aye.
Isabel Jackson, I.
Jesse Burns, aye.
Give Rivera, aye.
Okay. Now we're at public hearing. Are we not?
Yes,
Regarding land use ordinance and development review ordinance regarding fees.
Yes, I did get something from the town to explain this 2022 amendments to the Town of Islesboro Land Use and Development Review Ordinance regarding removing fees. This is an effort by the select board to remove actual fees from town ordinances. In the future, if the select board decides to change a fee or permit amount, it would not require a town meeting vote to do so. Current fees are very low, and the expectation is fees will go up to help cover associated costs. I guess they removed fees from the solid waste ordinance in 2018.
As an example.
Oh, as an example, oh, i.e. as an example.
And if I may say something, I know. They haven't raised those solid waste fees yet. That is gonna be on the plate, along with, there's several ordinances that have fees involved, but they don't amount to a lot, but I mean, planning board fees could conceivably, help go toward the budget. And same for the transfer station fees, where it's mostly, a majority contract, using the demo bin, so things like that, so. I couldn't tell you, there's nothing, there's no draft of what these fees might be, but again, the select board would have a public hearing when we come up with that, so.
This is just to give them the ability
Yes,
to
right
do
now,
that.
the fees are built in there and you have to go in and change each time you wanted to do something, so. It's something that we're gonna probably end up doing with most of the ordinances that they feel they might want to increase. Anybody against it?
no.
No.
Anybody at home?
Do
Anybody,
you have something to comment on? Okay, I just want to make sure that.
anybody on TV have questions?
On Zoom?
Put Zoom down.
Somebody's got a hand up.
Who?
I can't tell who, so just go ahead.
Julianne's iPad.
Okay, go ahead.
She's gonna, I think, unmute her.
I didn't see the hand come up.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Maybe it's my mouse. Oh, it is my mouse.
Well, Julianne's going, I got nothing.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry.
If there's anybody on the Zoom call who can't get their stuff unmuted, feel free to put it into the chat box.
Okay. We're understanding that we're taking dollar amounts out of the ordinances so that they are no longer included in the ordinances. Okay.
Is there a reason you wanted this unmuted?
Well, yeah, because I thought you had your hand up, but it was my mouse signal saying that there was a mouse, my mouse pad was there or something.
Ah, gotcha.
So we have to make a motion?
No, I don't think we're voting on this, are we?
This is just the public hearing.
Right.
So if there are no more questions or comments from the public, we can adjourn.
No, we have to go back to the meeting.
Adjournment of the public hearing.
Right.
No, nobody else?
Okay.
Adjourn the public hearing.
Second.
Any discussion on the matter? No discussion being heard. All in favor? Bill Shoppy says aye.
Jennifer West says aye.
Aye.
Jesse Burns, aye.
Gil Rivera, aye.
So have we returned to our agenda? As in other business and the CEO report?
That's Dave. Zach.
Yeah, I do not have a CEO report tonight.
Yep.
Other than, I say, I'm currently in Arkansas. I am hopes to be back next week. I, full disclosure, I contracted COVID while I'm here. And so I'm in the healing process from that right at the moment.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yes, but all goes well. I should be clear to travel by this weekend.
Dave, that's why I'm doing Zoom too, because my granddaughter is tested positive. Okay. People wishing to address the planning board. Do I have any hands that aren't mouse related? I don't see anybody or hear anybody. No correspondences, committee reports. Anybody got committee reports? No additional business on my end.
We have something on there.
Yes, there's
Oh,
something. on
right,
there.
yes, that's one thing I was thinking about, that the application for development review has minor, indicates minor, so it's proposed
Yeah.
minor. Hmm?
You broke up. I reading what you're saying on the agenda. And I'm not sure whether you're talking about it.
It's just a question of whether we should remove from the application for development review the word minor. It automatically assumes that the applicant is applying for a minor application.
Oh, on, you know, on like a blank application or something, is that?
Do we have a different one for major?
No, we don't.
It's just the same one?
It's the same one. It's odd that, and I don't know, is it on the actual application form? Or is it just a cover page?
I don't know. I kind of get a feeling that that's something that we can change in-house, is it not, Dave?
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yes, you can.
That's a decision of the planning board, whether it's minor or major.
Right. So we could take that off of the application without any,
Page.
You don't.
it's
need to
just a
vote.
matter of getting rid of it and making new copies, correct?
Yeah, okay.
If I remember right, the cover sheet says minor / major on the cover sheet for the application. And,
I don't have one in front for you to look at.
yeah, me neither. But I believe, Jennifer is right. It's when it comes to you folks, you decide whether it's minor or major.
Right, right.
Let's look into if we can just pull that off and bring it back up the next meeting. That way Bill and then we'll be back. We can have it all in
Yeah.
hand
Oh,
and
yeah.
make sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, because the copy I have, it says application for minor development on the second page.
can we table it till next time?
But there's nothing to the table. I mean, we can, I mean,
But if we table it, then we can have it brought back up too.
oh, I see. Okay. All right. I'm with you. I mean, if it's something that we can do in-house, I don't see why we can't do it.
And we can, and what it is, the application gives a lot of the details for a minor development. And it would be nice to give this reasons why it would be tossed over to a major development. So I think we just need to review the application and make it more something.
I move that we put this issue on next meeting's agenda.
Second,
Any discussion? All in favor, aye. Bill Shoppy, aye.
Dr. West, aye.
Isabel, aye.
Jesse Burns, aye.
Joe Rivera, aye.
Anybody want to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Bill Shoppy says aye.
Dr. West says aye.
Isabel Jackson, aye.
Jesse Burns, aye.
Joe Rivera, aye.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for participating.
Yep.
Thank you,
Thank
Bill.
you.
Yeah.
Don't get sick.
Jerry, when you get time, can you put a copy of those into my,
Yeah,
or do you have a copy?
yeah.
I'd like to, like, review it and go over and see what the difference is.